What if I told you Indonesia could soon build 85% of America's most advanced fighter jet? Boeing's offering a deal that's shaking up global defense, but there's a catch. Will this move counter China, revive Boeing's fortunes, or spark a new Cold War in Asia? Let's break it down. Last week, Boeing dropped a bombshell in Jakarta. Buy our F-15EX fighters, and we let Indonesia build most of them here. 85% local production, billions on the table. But why is Boeing risking its top tech? And why does Indonesia need these jets so badly? Meet the F-15EX, Mach 2.5 speed, 29,500 lbs of payload, that's 13 tons of missiles, bombs, or even hypersonics. It's a 4.5 gen beast with a combat range stretching from Jakarta to Sydney. But here's the kicker. Unlike stealth jets like the F-35, this bird's built for raw power, perfect for patrolling Indonesia's 17,000 islands. But let's get real. Indonesia's Air Force is flying relics Cold War-era F-5 Tigers and rusty Russian Sukhois. They're up against Chinese Coast Guards in the Natuna Islands and pirates in the Malacca Strait. Enter Boeing's offer, 24 F-15EX for $14 billion. If Indonesia says yes. Back in 2023, Defense Minister Prabowo shook hands with Boeing. Now, President Prabowo wants to turn Indonesia into an aerospace hub. But here's the twist. Boeing's promising 85% local content. That means Indonesian factories building wings, avionics, even training pilots. PT Dirgantara Indonesia, their state aerospace firm, is on deck, but can they handle it? Hold up, Boeing's had a rough year, $3.8 billion in losses, strikes, and F-15EX delays in the US. Is this deal a Hail Mary, and why risk sharing tech that could birth a competitor? Remember China's J-20 that started with licensed Russian jets. Is Indonesia next? Jakarta's playing 4D chess. They're also buying French Rafales, partnering on South Korea's KF-21, and flirting with Russia's Su-35s. Smart diversification or a logistical nightmare? One analyst put it bluntly, it's about politics, not just missiles. If this deal goes through, the US gains a strategic ally in the South China Sea. But Indonesia's no puppet, they'll keep balancing ties with China and ASEAN. Meanwhile, Vietnam and Malaysia are sweating. Could this trigger an arms race? But there's an elephant in the room, US tariffs. Trump just slapped new taxes on Indonesia. Jakarta's response, we'll buy $19 billion of your goods. Smooth move, but can they afford both that and $14 billion jets? Still, imagine the upside. Indonesian engineers mastering cutting-edge tech. Jobs, a homegrown defense industry. Penny Burt, Boeing's Southeast Asia chief, says they're all in. But skeptics whisper, 85% local? Yeah, right. So, what's your take? Is this a win-win or a risky bluff? Could Indonesia become the next aerospace giant, or will trade wars ground this deal? Smash that like button, subscribe, and sound off in the comments.